8 a.m. I wake up, I'm sitting on the toilet, look at my messages, boom, Flow Grappling hits me up. They're like, Nicky Rod, we have a situation. Gordon has pulled out of the match versus Pena. And at first, you know, I'm like wondering why this, why that, but ultimately it doesn't matter. I have a job to do. I've got to go out there and put this man's back on the mat, keep it there.
You know, I came in on 2 days' notice.
Short notice, but he is always ready. He's like always going 300% in every single one of his rounds. Never gets tired, just constantly as if he's in a camp. He's never really out of camp. There's not really a camp for the guys, so.
Gordon had to pull out. He tried to do everything that he could to stay in, but just couldn't. Nicky Rod immediately was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm in.
So with 2 days notice, Flow Grappling hits me up. They're like, yo, can you come out to Cali, do this match? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Send me that check and that plane ticket. I'm on my way. We have a quick little weigh-in and face-offs. I thought there was going to be a press conference. I thought I was going to have the opportunity to chat on the mic a little bit, but slipped through their fingers.
There wasn't a press conference for some reason. I don't know why. There wasn't much build-up. Obviously, it's 2 days notice, but there wasn't much sort of build-up once they're out there.
The press conference actually never happened. We actually don't know why that didn't happen. You know, pretty much every WNO event, there's always a press conference for all the main card guys, and that just got canceled. Maybe for intimidation of us talking about why I had to fill in so soon and suddenly. But okay, we had this quick face-off, and on the face-off, I was like trying to see his size, but he wore these like baggy clothes, trying to like, you know, hide whatever he got hidden.
I didn't really have any time, though, to prepare specifically for Felipe's game plan or style.
Right before the match, they line us up behind the curtain. And again, I gaze over and I see him just like kind of like, you know, prancing back and forth. We got a little pop in his step. I mean, I guess he was trying to look like he was confident, but I could kind of smell that, you know, he was intimidated a little bit. I'm not a prancer, I'm a pacer. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking, somebody like me, we pace, we don't prance. Prance is for ponies, you feel me? And I was like, I got you today. It's my day, baby.
Overall, I think he had a very good performance. He's showing, you know, the development of a lot of new skills. I'm sure no one expected Nicky Rod to go in there and, you know, start sitting back on leg locks and things like that.
He's pushing the pace. You know, he's on top, the one trying to dominate the actual passing threats. You know, he's attacking his body locks, obviously standard Roddy locks, BJJ fanatics. So I stay on top, fucking trying to pass, trying to get my body lock, get almost past a couple times. And I noticed that this guy is not like really engaging. It's just kind of trying to play the defensive role and push me off a little bit and not really attack. Because my plan, I was like, oh, this guy's a world-renowned grappler. He's going to want to be on the offense. It's like when somebody's offensive, it's so much easier to, you know, get the sequences that I want. But, you know, again, it's a defensive opponent. It can be tough to get things going. Great grappler, but maybe because he's intimidated, didn't want to be offensive. And I'm like, all right, I got to go for leg locks because this guy's not giving me any, he's not budging much, right? So I let him enter my legs a little bit so I can re-enter and start attacking heels. And I get to things like outside ashis. And yeah, I mean, I got there a couple times, almost got the finish, especially on the especially on the first and second heel hook. I really even got a figure four lock. I just quite didn't have the angle to break his leg. Our first exchange, I'm looking Pena in his eyes and he's fucking huffing and puffing, right? After one little itty bitty scramble, Pena's getting like, you know, a little gassed. And then immediately after that, I noticed that he starts touching me. He's like, oh, he's greasing. I was like, no, I know what's happening. You're tired. You need that break. As far as the stupid greasing allegations, man, it's like, it's kind of, it's lunacy. You can clearly tell that Nicky Rod's the one pushing the pace. Felipe's getting tired playing on bottom, and then you know, when Felipe gets tired, he's like, oh, you know, he is actually greasing. Can you please, you know, wipe him down? So then you get, you know, a minute, 2 minutes to catch your breath, drink some water while they towel off Nicky Rod, who like absolutely does not grease.
There's all these jokes floating around about B cream and Nicky Rod's greasing. Just for the record, he doesn't actually do that. That would be insane for him to grease up before a match. That is is such a slimy thing to do, no pun intended.
Pena was complaining about, greasing during the match. I know Nicky Rod definitely puts lotion on every day after training, but with that being said, I don't think he's going out there and, an hour before the match, rubbing himself in baby oil.
He's not. You're rubbing him.
Yes.
At the end of the match, Pena gets his hand raised, and I walk off the mat. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Didn't do anything. The best attack he had, he tried to sit up for a front head, which failed immediately because of my phenomenal guillotine defense and my persistence with body locking. In addition to that, he tried to wrestle once, which I immediately shut down. He hit those Nicky Rod hips and didn't know what to do.
I thought he won, in his words, I thought he won positionally and submissionally. What I think he means by that is positionally, obviously, and submission attempts. He had one really good submission attempt. I don't think Pena had any really good submission attempts at all.
I feel like he was pushing the pace more throughout it than Pena was, and had the closest submission attempt of the match. He also got very close to passing multiple times with body locks.
Felipe really wasn't doing anything. I don't know, honestly, how Felipe got the actual decision, because there was just nothing that Felipe was really doing. The only thing that Felipe really had was an omoplata attempt.
He had the omoplata, which resulted in nothing, and an omoplata, to anyone who knows anything, it's not really an effective submission without the gi. So I wouldn't even really call that a submission. That was more like a sweep attempt. That didn't work.
And then the thing is, Nicky Rod rolls out, ends up on top still. So I think that kind of just negates the whole situation.
So yeah, I think he won. Obviously I'm biased. I'm the guy's teammate, so I'm going to say I think he won. But I genuinely think, whether or not he was on my team or whatever team, I would say Nicky Rod won under their criteria, not under points, this, that, ADCC. You're scoring it in a sub-only rule set with 3 judges looking at offensive, grappling, aggression, and submission attempts. And I think you won in all 3 of those criteria.
So overall, I think it was a really good performance. I think from here on out, we need to start getting him to do some more high stepping and loose outside passing, because I think it'll open up a lot more of the body locks. So if there's one thing that I would fix about that match, it would be, the incorporating loose passing to help set up the body locks rather than sitting in front and waiting.
After the match, I walk off, I'm pissed off, and somebody from Flow walks up to me. They're like, listen, there was 3 Brazilian judges. It's impossible for you to get a win unless you sub. I was like, wow, that doesn't make me feel better at all. Go home, pocket full of cash, and kind of pissed off.
Yeah, so I think either a rematch with Pena or Gordon. I think those are the 2 matches to make for him right now. Obviously he had a very good performance against Gordon, came super close, but ended up losing the match. And in my opinion, he beat Pena on this last one. So I think either of them would be super interesting for the fans.
I definitely should have won that match. I definitely did win that match according to my criteria. And let's do it again.